But the lead story on the BBC Scotland news website today is hormone replacement therapy drug to be reconsidered for use in Scotland. This is a PR response to the Davina McCall programme, because we know wee Nicky's, she's on the foothills of menopause at the minute. Why that's our business, I've got no idea. But she's got a big PR team. Davina McCall's a fairly popular television personality in the UK. She's come out and talked about menopause and how it's affected her health and the things that women could be doing. And she's highlighted that menopause is difficult, but there's this hormone replacement therapy, but it's not typically prescribed in Scotland. As I said, Nicola's already talking about being on the foothills of menopause. This is a hot topic. Forget your inflation, forget rising fuel prices, forget the fact that a loaf of bread's about £1.50 these days. Forget all of that. Forget the fact that your kid's education is in the fucking toilet. Forget the fact that your kid's future job prospects are precarious at best. Forget all of that. Nicola's on the foothills of the menopause. How it's our business, I've got no clue. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to. I don't want to be disparaging towards women with menopause. Not at all. But how is the politicians' hormone status any of our business, man? And Kevin says, and by the way, if you're watching, folks, just jump into the chat. Let us know your thoughts and things. Kevin says, forget Ferrygate. Exactly. Very, very convenient that this is all happening now. We'll get to Ferrygate in a minute. So, and I suppose it's worth pointing out that in Scotland, we don't pay for our prescriptions at the pharmacy. I'm not calling our prescriptions free because of course they aren't free. There is a cost. Of course there's a cost. But we don't pay over the counter at the pharmacy for our prescription. The state foots the bill. We provide the state with the money to foot the bill through taxation. Anyway, a sought-after hormone replacement therapy for women in menopause is to be considered for use in Scotland. The Scottish Government said that it encouraged the maker of Utrogistan to research. That sounds like a country in the fucking the Caucasus. The Caucasus. Is that how you say it? The Caucasus. Dagestan, Turkmenistan, Utrogistan. Earlier this week, TV presenter Davina McCall highlighted that it was not generally being prescribed in Scotland. The menopause champion. Imagine reaching a point in your career. That's a disservice to Davina. Imagine getting to a stage of your career where you're known as, the BBC writes about you as being a menopause champion. Wow. I wonder if you get a plaque that sits behind you for when you're on Zoom calls, and it just says, this is to certify that Davina McCall is a menopause champion. The menopause champion, aka Davina McCall, demonstrated that GPs were warned against prescribing it on cost grounds. The Scottish Medicines Consortium, which approves drugs for use in Scotland, rejected Utrogistan, I'm saying it different each time, for general use in 2019. There are growing concerns about shortages of hormone replacement therapy across the UK. The government announced last week that it was rationing supplies and appointed a new HRT czar to help solve the crisis. An HRT czar. You'd think with all the embargoes against Russia, we'd have an embargo against words like Tsar, considering it's a Russian word, I'm pretty sure. So we've got drug czars, COVID czars, vaccine czars. We've now got an HRT czar. An HRT czar. In our Channel 4 documentary, Sex, Mind and Menopause, broadcast on Monday, Ms McCall explored the latest medical science on the menopause and perimenopause. The 54-year-old spoke to doctors about the benefit of Utrogistan, a body-identical micronized progesterone. According to the Menopause charity, it is better tolerated and has a lower risk of breast cancer compared with synthetic progestogens. Right, blah, blah, blah. Big fucking advert for the drug. And then we've got Nicola. Let's see what she's saying.
It's not the kind of thing I feel instinctively comfortable talking about, and I think
why is that? Do you think?
I think because it is so intensely personal, and I think there is still a lot of stigma around it, and so even for people like me who know I've got a platform and who knows how important it is to talk about it, I still feel uncomfortable. But it struck me because obviously I'm in the foothills of it. I've been quite anxious about, given the public nature of my job, how am I going to cope with the impact of that? What's it going to be like?
You mean if you have a hot flush one day in the middle of a big debate?
Exactly. It hasn't happened so far, but it may well. And it suddenly struck me that there haven't been that many women in very senior positions in politics, but there's nobody I know of that I can go and read what it was like for them.
What was that she said at the end there?
It's not the kind of thing. Exactly. It hasn't happened so far, but it may well. And it suddenly struck me that there haven't been that many women in very senior positions in politics, but
there hasn't been that many women in senior positions in politics. And then she kind of obviously catches herself, because that's fucking shite. Fucking Theresa May was the Prime Minister of the UK. To be fair, she does say at the start it's a very personal thing and she doesn't feel particularly comfortable talking about it. I'm glad she made that clear, because I don't think she should be put in a position, but to have to talk about it, maybe our PR people are pushing her in that particular direction. I don't know. She said she hoped women in a similar position would benefit from hearing about her experience. It comes back to the Scotland's chief mammy thing. Are you also Scotland's chief best pal? Are you trying to tell me that women who are menopausal or on the foothills of the menopause don't talk to one another? They don't talk to their pals who are in a similar stage of their life? Of course they do. So Nicola, we don't just stick to the politics, stick to the missing ferry contracts, stick to the covering up of the stories about the ferry contracts and shipbuilders having to close down unless you award certain ferry contracts.